Greetings and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Gamer's Den. I have with me the Book of Monsters right here. Now, Book of Monsters is, of course, usually hosted by CL. This is Halloween. On the 1 year anniversary of this most glorious of videos. Last year, we looked back on the werewolf and its lore, as well as the Wolfman movie. Today, as the thumbnail wasn't anything to go by, we'll be looking at vampires, their polar opposites and rivals, as well as Lagousi's classic Dracula. But before we get into that, I want you to know that, of course, welcome back to the den. So you, the viewer, come to me, the host shade, one last time for Halloween. But I will be back for the horror corner, along with the seer. More not. Now, you come for the host, of course. You come for the playthroughs and walkthroughs with yours truly, as well as the rest of the den. But you say for the pop culture and knowledge therein. Now, let's begin. Vampires go far back. As far back as the Aztecs and the Mayans. There's stories of blood-sucking creatures. But very first, most modern day one, close to it, was one of Bram Stoker. You all know the one. His book, Dracula. This depicted a very distinct version of a vampire. That of a creature that could walk day or night, but would suck the soul of the living to survive. Immortal. No way to kill it. Some stakes are hot. A wooden one. Although would that kill? However, it wasn't until the 1930s when Universal adapted this magnificent book. Well, we should probably check with Nosferatu first. We showcase the very first part of the blood drinking as well as their version of sunlight. It kills vampires. Eventually, Bram Stoker's Dracula was brought to life again by Bela Lugosi, and the most common depiction of Dracula. Slick jet black hair, nice prim and proper suit, black cape with red underlining, ghostly white skin, ruby red lips, and two jagged pointed fangs, place of the canines. Some depictions of a vampire would have the bottom canines and top canines sharpened and elongated. Others would have the front tooth, but those are rare occurrences. Very rare, thank goodness. Also, there's the Dampier, half human, half vampire, and some obvious examples of very famous some of these creatures. Blade, the Daywalker, as he's more commonly referred to, is classified as a Dampier. Let's see here. If Universal still held the rights, Simon would have most likely been going up against Dracula and turning into a vampire himself. Makes sense. Funnily enough, they were supposed to be going with a mummy, and Dave would get in that one. Oof. But we all know how that ended up. One more movie and voila. But some other vampire characters that have popped up over the, well, Fanboy and Chum Chum had a specific episode with that, which was just weird. And of course, Mickey has dressed up as a vampire numerous times. So, I mean, he's not really turned into one, thank goodness. That'd be creepy. But, I dig it. And of course, there's four vampires in Land Before Christmas as some citizens around town, etc., etc. Strengths of the vampires. Like werewolves, they have enhanced senses and strength and agility. But they have something over the werewolves. Werewolves can be pretty speedy and are excellent trackers. Vampires have the advantage of being able to fly, and they have hypnosis, can shapeshift and turn to a fine mist. They can also, like werewolves, inject you. They can either drain you of your blood entirely, turn you into one of the undead themselves. The only way to fully to cure them, in some cases, if they haven't been infected for too long, you take out the main vampire. Now, Dracula has appeared in many media and infected quite a few different characters over the years, from Joker all the way down to certain characters of Marvel Comics, etc., etc. However, his most notable appearance is, of course, the movie we'll be talking about soon. So, notable weaknesses of the vampire. Most common, stakes of the heart, be it wooden or silver. Silver is a very holy metal. It can kill evil creatures, certain evil creatures. But through the heart, really, what wouldn't it kill? Just saying. However, as more modern day stuff has been added, sunlight also can kill them, direct sunlight, or UV light, as more commonly seen in Blade. It burn them, kills them. Very, very effective means. Garlic is also a notable deterrent. Wolfsbane as well can protect your home from vampires. But garlic works too. Garlic works too. Try putting both of them. It does help. They have an aversion to crosses. Like it. It's because they're an unholy creature. They don't like holy metals or talismans. Naturally. Let's see. What else? Other notable weaknesses. Yes. Their ego can be quite big. Hoisted on their own petard, so to speak. They must sleep in their coffin with their native soil from their homeland at the bottom. Otherwise, it's not exactly very nice or very pleasant. I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'm doing this late at night. It's a perfect night to talk about vampires. However, Dracula, being the king of the vampires, now he is actually has some lore to him. He's based on Dracula, or Vlad the Impaler, as he's more commonly referred to. He would sit at his dining table with the heads of his enemies on spikes, slowly sliding down with blood dripping on them as he ate his supper. Gruesome, no. Ugh. Never do that. I'm part of the undead myself, and loving it, if I'm being honest. Dracula has had many, and vampires in general have infected many media. More so than werewolves, if I'm being honest. It's kind of disturbing. But we're creatures are things that. But vampires are more commonly, they can transform. More often than not into a bat, but they can shapeshift into snakes, wolves, even other people. And can transform into a fine mist to get into certain spaces that most people couldn't. But Dracula is probably the most recognizable vampire of all time. His main bride, Camilla Karstein, isn't as well known, but Camilla is his bride. But he usually is depicted with multiple brides. However, when Universal Monsters made the most famous, one of the most famous of the big trio, that being the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, and of course Dracula. They had a hit on their hands. Dracula would go on to do all sorts of sequels after that first movie with Universal. Even certain crossovers, fighting off the Wolfman and Monster, amongst the other creatures. Even running into Abbott and Costello. Kind of amusing. No, I have to find those movies at some point. I'm getting off topic. But Dracula, a 1930s classic, with Bela Lugosi in the main role. Kicking things off, we have a person amongst a carriage full of people. Most of them get off. He needs to go to Castle Dracula. Fortunately, the drivers and the gypsies around him are very scared. But they do and they take it. Oof. But when he gets there, he is hypnotized and turned into a human slave. Dracula needs a human slave to guard his coffin while he sleeps. All throughout, this guy, Renfield, is very prevalent throughout the story. Ranting and raving and all that. Eventually, they make it to America. Step off, Dracula manages to get away. Put into a new castle in Britain, while Renfield is locked up in the insane asylum. However, when they turn up, when they left, the boat had around 9 to 11 men. But when they arrived, only one remained, Renfield. None of the crew survived the trip, thanks to Dracula. However, that wasn't the last kill he did. Eventually, he would do another kill. This time, a young girl selling flowers. And visits a theater afterwards. And just in front of God and everybody, he just kills someone and keeps walking to the theater. And meets Mina, his current target for a new bride. Over the course of the movie, he slowly seduces her to his ways. But as this is going on, a new player has entered the ring. Dr. Victor Van Helsing. Dr. Van Helsing himself. An old man, but a smart man. Some might say that he has the rantings and ravings of a lunatic, but he knows how to spot a vampire. A mirror. For you see, there is one thing I didn't showcase in my strengths and weaknesses. Because it's not really a strength, but it's not a real weakness either. You see, if you avoid mirrors, if you're a vampire, avoid them, no one would suspect. So, if you're very vigilant, it's a strength. No one can tell. However, it's a weakness, because after they notice, and you're near a mirror, and you cast no reflection, you are a vampire. So check your reflection, ladies and gentlemen. And that's how Van Helsing managed to find out that Dracula isn't human. It's not. Eventually, he kidnaps Mina, forces her into the castle. Renfield unintentionally leads them straight to them. Renfield is then killed, and unfortunately, well, that's quite that in itself is unfortunate. Dracula goes into his bedchambers, and Mina, over to the side, could not do anything. Stuck, trapped within her own mind. But eventually, she snaps out of it when Van Helsing strikes the stake through Dracula's cold black heart, and he eventually passes away. This is only the beginning, though. For you see, even though Dracula's dead, Mina and her love are walking away up the stairs in a very dramatic, awesome shot It's not the last we see of Dracula. Not by a long shot. For you see, after that, Universal Monsters would use him in many other movies. And eventually, he would become a pop culture sensation. Even getting a few other movies that are just as acceptable and just as praised. But this is probably the most iconic version of the character. However, before you ask, no, he actually did. There is actually a common misconception with this film. Most people, when they do a Bela Lugosi impression, they go, "I want to suck your blood," blah blah blah. But he's never said that. Not on or off screen. Kind of interesting. No, but I want to know what you think. Do you like this entry of the Book of Monsters? It is the 1 year anniversary. Next year, I have something. Me and Sia have been talking. We have something else planned up our sleeve. So keep that in mind. Um, and of course, as always, be safe. Trick or treating, kids. I know there are a few kids watching. And if you're just out and about partying, or for the adults in the audience, going to costume parties and all that, be careful, okay? Lots of crazies and spooks running around. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, happy Halloween. I have been Shade, your host, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to be here on the horror corner a little bit more. CL will too, of course, but it's high time someone brought a little more creepy to the horror corner. But be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Go down the comment section down below. Did you enjoy this episode? If there was anything I missed from my vampire list, or if you have a favorite vampire, be it a favorite version of Dracula or some random vampire, let me know. I would love to know. Start a dialogue. We love that around here. We really do. And of course, ladies and gentlemen,